Hello, everyone. Over the weekend, I was speaking to a young professional that was looking to get into data as a career. And the first question she asked was, what are the roles in data and how they're different? And I thought that was a brilliant question. So I thought I'd do a video on it. So, at its heart, data analytics is a process of taking the data within a business. So, all different types of data here, and then interpreting that, refining it in a actionable and interpretable format for business decision makers. And a lot of work happens in the middle here. So the first thing that typically happens is that you get a data engineer to take the different sources of data, of which there are many. So I've listed enterprise resource planning systems, accounting systems, customer relationship management systems, HR, sales, IT network, into a single source of truth. That single source of truth is called a various different names. Data warehouse traditionally, then it became a data lake. Now, very recently, I learned the term data lake house, which is a combination of a data warehouse and a data lake. Or as some fast starter people like to joke, a data swamp, but that's very much a trade term there. So the data engineer is responsible for piping in that data into the data space. And the data engineer typically has a computer science background and has strong technical skills. So, for example, he or she commonly has multiple cloud certifications like Azure Cloud, AWS Cloud, or Google Cloud Platforms, GCP, and knows a bunch of programming languages. So the standard SQL, Python, R, and then Hive, Scala, Golang, um, and then a good knowledge of data architecture. Once the data gets piped in, you then have roles that administrate that data warehouse. And they would be called data architect, database admin, cloud admin. So these people are like the data engineer, but look after operations. So they make the data storage extremely efficient, both from a processing perspective as well as a cost perspective. They would work with other parts of the business to make sure the data is secure, it's accessible, it's archived appropriately. And these people typically also have a computer science or an ISOM background and know a lot about data storage and data systems and IT networks. Then you move into the next phase, which is then refining the data for the business in a way that makes it actionable and ultimately helps the business generate either additional revenues or reduce costs. So, two roles that are the biggest roles would be the data scientist and the data analyst. Um, so, the data scientist is the one that would take the data and create machine learning models on top of it. So they would typically have a deep knowledge of machine learning models and advancements in machine learning, as well as the data science toolkit. So SQL, Python, R, all the libraries, or other paid tools such as DataRobot or SAS, whichever their organization uses. The data analyst, their role is sort of being the glue between the underlying systems, so understanding what data is captured, understanding whether or not that data is then transformed once it gets piped into the data warehouse. Because sometimes things do change, like whether it's a time lag or some information that was captured beginning did not make it into data warehouse due to restrictions and how it was done, and what exactly do business decision makers need in order to make their decisions. And then also, because they have all this knowledge, what should the data scientists be building their machine learning models off? Is there a better data source? So as you might be able to tell, my role is to be a data analyst, sometimes called a BI developer. So BI developer typically just builds the dashboarding. So I guess as a data analyst, our role is to have a good understanding of tools and languages, so SQL, as well as Python and R, a good understanding of data visualization tools, and then also strong business knowledge, and that we sort of bring together. Um, I have to say that because data is such a fast growing industry, in addition to all these roles, there are a lot of non technical roles that are coming up almost every few months that are really, really important. So, for example, data governance and privacy are huge roles. A lot of these people come from a legal or compliance background. Data strategy, which is a mishmash between management consulting and data. So, how to use tech to improve business processes and how to use data to improve business strategy, in addition to the traditional management consulting toolkit. Data project manager, because there's so much jargon and proprietary information, IT project managers can specialize in data, and similarly, data business analysts. And it's a growing field. So if you're thinking about Korean data, hope this helped. If you like the video, I post weekly on LinkedIn, and all my videos are also on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and search Do Data, DU, and Data, my channel should come up. Hope this is helpful.